Welcome back to the Mattercraft tutorial series. This is the second part and we're going to be diving into Mattercraft and creating our first project. It's going to be a simple 3D project with a 3D model and some text overlaying it, and we'll add some orbit controls to our camera and we'll show how we can publish it. So let's get started. If this is the first time you're following along with a Mattercraft video, head over to my.xup.works and create an account, and you can click on the big red button when you see this screen, and you can choose Mattercraft as your development tool. Let's create or give our project a name, so we'll call this Robot First Project, and we'll click on the big red button to open Mattercraft. We again are going to start with a blank project for this example, so click on blank project and click get started. So we'll wait for the dependencies to install, and then we're going to import some files into our project. So I've actually got some in here. Just a 3D model of a robot, which is a GLB file. Mattercraft supports GLB files and GLTF files as 3D models, and we've also just got a PNG image, which is we're going to use as a kind of a text background. So we can just drag and drop these over into our project on the left hand side. So I'm going to drag them both over. You can also, and I like to do this especially when I know I'm building bigger projects, is click on the plus icon here and add these to a folder. So I can call this something like assets, and then I can just drag these into my assets folder. And I can also create folders within this by clicking new folder, and I could have a 3D model asset folder and a 3D model or a image folder over here. It's up to you. You don't have to do that, but it's nice to kind of clean up your project files. So let's delete our box. We don't need that in our project. So we can go over here, right click on our box and click delete, or we can click the backspace key. So now we have a fresh scene in our project. And what we're going to do is we're going to add our robot 3D model into our scene. So we can either drag and drop it directly into our viewport, or we can drop it directly into our hierarchy. So it's up to you whichever one you want to do. If you want to drop it directly somewhere specific in your hierarchy, which may be important in later projects, if you have groups and things set up, you can do that. But let's just drop it directly into our viewport. And you'll see that our 3D model automatically appears in our viewport. He's actually quite large. It's quite difficult to see, but there's a camera here, which is our perspective camera. And if we click on that in the hierarchy or in our viewport, you can see a little kind of indicator of what the perspective camera will be seeing. And you can see that our 3D model is quite big. So we can click on our 3D model and we can either use the scale tool to scale it down, or we can head over here into our node properties and we can scale it down to maybe 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. If we click on our perspective camera again, you'll see that he is kind of more in view. And in addition, we can also click on the live preview, go open simulator, and we can just double check that he's kind of in the view when our experience first loads. Cool, so that's how we can add 3D models and add assets into our project. In addition to that, we currently just have this kind of static white background that is quite boring and quite kind of plain. So what we can do is if we close our live preview simulator and head over to our hierarchy, we can add content to our hierarchy either using the burger menu and go new, when we have a number of different kind of features and functionality that we can add components. Or we can right click on our group, which is what I generally do, and click new, and we have our components list here. So I'm actually going to go into environment and add a sky environment. And now you can see that we've got kind of a nicer environment around our project. Worth noting that we're currently just making a 3D kind of website project, and we're not creating an augmented reality for mobile project or a headset based experience. So the sky environment will work in this. For things like mobile AR, you're viewing the device camera, so a sky environment isn't needed unless you want to use it as the kind of main lighting in your project. One thing that we want to add is we want to select on our sky environment and have it show at runtime. And that means that when we live preview, this sky environment will be around our kind of 3D model. We can also update some of the properties of our sky environment if you like. This is completely up to you what you do here. You can just use the sliders and change how you want your kind of sky environment to be set up. So let's have it a little bit darker. I'm going to close this live preview again. Cool. So we have our 3D model, we have our sky environment. I'm actually going to change this so it's kind of the sun is shining on him from the front, which makes him look nice with the shadows and everything, because we've got our default shadow plane and things set up already for us. Cool. In addition to our project, currently it's completely static, but we have a perspective camera. And what we can do is we can select on that and we can go down to our behaviors panel down here. We can actually click on the plus icon and add a mouse orbit behavior. And this allows us to have this kind of same controls that are in the viewport, but with the rotating and panning and things, but in our live kind of version of our project. And there are a number of controls that you can change here, like the mouse bindings. But one thing I'm going to do is just change the initial target to 0, 1, 0. And that should start it kind of looking a bit closer to the robot. Now if we click live preview and open the simulator view, it starts with the robot in view. And if we click and drag around our viewport, our live preview, sorry, this is allowing us to move around. And we can also have the zoom controls. If you didn't want the zoom controls, you can turn these off in the mouse bindings of the behavior. But yeah, really cool. And this will work on mobile devices and also on desktop. So let's close the live preview simulator now. And let's add some more content to our project. So we added this text background. And one nice thing about Mattercraft is there's actually a preview of your content. So if you didn't know what the text background was, we can click on it and we see a preview of this that opens in a new tab. And then we can just tap back to our main scene Z component. Another thing that I haven't really mentioned in these videos is you can see that it says unsaved next to our scene.zcomp, and there's also a little indicator that's a little dot up here. We can Mattercraft kind of saves the project as you go, but sometimes you need a proper save. So you can either click Control S, which will save your project, or you can go up to the M menu and click Save or Save All in here. Save will save the current scene, and Save All will save all of your scenes. Currently, we've only got one scene.zcomp, so we only need to use Save or the Control S function. Nice. So let's add a text background into our scene. But before we do that, I'm actually going to head over to my hierarchy and right click on my main group, click New, and add another group. And then what we can do is we can either right click on this and go Rename, which is here, or we can actually click the Enter key, and then let's call this text text group. And then I'm just going to drag this up below my Robot Expressive 3D model, and just to clean up my scene. So I've got like all of my defaults at the bottom and then all of the things that I'm building at the top. Now I can just drag and drop my text background into my text group, and I'm going to set it as an image. It's not a 360 image, it's just a standard 2D image. So I'm going to set that in there. And then I can either drag my text background component around my scene, or I can grab and drag the text group around my scene, and everything in this group as a child of it will follow. I'm actually going to drag the text group, and that will become clear in a second when I start to add my text to it. So if I just drag my text group up above the head of the robot, and then I can right click in my text group, go to New, and then I'm going to find text. Text is in one of these groups, and if you can't find it, a nice thing that you can do is you can actually use the search functionality. So we can go text and then add the text component. Now what we can do is we can go down to the node properties and we can update some of the properties that come with text. So I'm going to say, hello, Mattercraft in the text property and click enter. I don't need to click enter. And then I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to change the color to white using this color picker. Now you can see that we have this hello Mattercraft. I'm going to zoom in a little bit in front of our text background. I'm also going to set the anchor Y to center and the anchor X to center, anchor Y to middle, and that's just going to put the text in the center. And I'm also going to change the font size to maybe 0.2. And you can see that when we move around, there's a bit of Z fighting going on. And that just means that the 2D content of the background and the text are on the exact same Z axis plane. So what we can do is we can click on our text and we can move it forward slightly. We can either do this using the blue arrow, or we can do this using the position property down here. So you can see that because I've moved it, it's now 0.01. So it kind of looks like it's still on the text background, but it's just moved forward slightly to stop that Z fighting. And feel free, if you want to have a play around with some of these other properties. You can add outline colors, outlines, strokes, whatever you want in here. And yeah, if we click on the viewport, that will deselect anything in our hierarchy. And now you can see that we've got our kind of first project set up. We've got our 3D model, non-animated yet, but we will animate him in time. We've got our text group and our text background, and we've got our text. And if we click on the live preview button up here, go to Open Simulator and click Launch, you'll see that we can have a look at how this project setup is looking in the live preview simulator. And one great thing about the preview simulator is we can also change the viewport up here. And if we wanted to see how this will look on, let's say, an iPhone X, this will give us a good representation of how this will look on an iPhone X without us having to scan it and launch it on an iPhone X, especially if we don't have one. We can also use this copy button and paste this into a new tab. Don't worry about that error. And click launch. And this is how our project would look if we were launching it on a desktop. Really cool, really nice, and the lighting is working really well. If we wanted to say give the shadow of the 3D model kind of back here and not just coming from the top, head back into our project, we can go into our defaults and we can change the directional light rotation, and you'll see that the shadows now start to kind of move around. And if we head back into our project, you'll see because it's a live preview, we don't need to reload, we don't need to do anything, it's automatically taken effect in here. Perfect, so we've created our first project. How do we share this with someone to show our creations? If we head back into Mattercraft, I'm actually going to close my live preview. Let's make sure that we're saving everything before we do this. So I'm just going to go to the menu, M menu, click save all my changes. And then we can head into the Publish tab. In here, we've got our Zapworks project, which is the one that we created the project from, and then we can click Publish. We can give it a version name or number. I'm just going to leave this as the default 1.0.0. Click Publish. It's going to compile, bundle our project, and then upload it to Zapworks. We don't need to do any of the hosting, don't need to do any of that. It's going to do it all for us. And once it's done, you'll see this success message. You'll see a version number here. You can see a QR code that you can scan, but you can also head into your CMS using this button or by going back to Zapworks. I'm going to use this. And you have a number of different properties that you can edit, excuse me, edit based on your project. So you can copy and download this QR code and send it to your friends or family, or you can click on the new trigger button, add a redirect URL, click create, and you have a URL that you could share on LinkedIn or on Slack or wherever you want to share that. And if you wanted to make any changes, you just head back into Mattercraft. I'm going to close my first version of the project just so we're not conflicting in any way. And I can make my changes and I can then save it and then publish again my new version. Thank you for following along. That was our first Mattercraft project created. Feel free to catch up on the following videos if you want to learn more about how to animate models or how to add raycasters, physics, particles, lots more to come.